From Dr. Wu, it is the new Metroplex, but there's more, because we also have the Dr. Wu Metrotitan. So yes, it is a tale of two cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was a whiskey drink, it was a vodka drink. Wait, I don't think that's how it goes. But anyways, I have these two very cool toys from Dr. Wu. One of them has a piece of cat hair on it, but regardless, we are going to go through these and have some fun along the way. Now, these were provided at no cost by the Tommy Park store and the Jerry store. One can be found on its own website, one on AliExpress, and I'll put links to both. And we are going to see what micro cities look like. If you're new to the channel, I'm Captain Kyle. Welcome aboard. If you've been watching for a while, thanks so much for coming back. That is totally awesome. And let's get into A Tale of Two Cities. Be right back. So yes, these are packaged. I have not opened them up until this moment, and I like the packaging. I mean, Metroplex looks very, very good there, and if you look on the back, you can see him in his city mode, and he even apparently has a scamper and a slammer. I'm not so sure about Six Gun, but we'll figure that out once we get into them. I don't remember what the pictures look like online. So, slicing this very nicely and putting the knife aside just in case a cat jumps up here, as Honor has been lately coming to me in this room because this is her place to get affection. Sky comes into, and once in a while we might get somebody else. But let's take this out, and we can see he is in his robot mode in the packaging. We can see there's a scamper right there. Six Gun appears to be in pieces, so maybe we can use a Junkion putting him together. And there's, of course, a nice little card that comes with him, and instructions, which I will be referring to because, you know, I've never messed with this before. But if we slide him out, we can take out the pieces one by one. So here is a Six Gun piece, and I'm going to assume that these go to the side for his arms. It's got two guns or stuff on the back, and that just came apart, but it plugs back in together, so it's fine. And we have an arm, which I imagine goes there, and a leg, which I'm guessing we turn that, and it plugs in like so, because it's the only way I can see it going on. I know, there's instructions, and this thing fell off the back again. So, interesting. You have another arm and another leg. So we have Six Gun. Okay, that's all we need. Goodbye. No, I'm kidding. We have Scamper here, which doesn't look too complex. That might be it. We'll check the directions. And we have Slammer, who's got a tank turret. And we have Metroplex himself, where I'm going to move the guns a little bit forward. And there we go. We have the set of Metroplex. And of course, they are subject to the laws of physics, centrifugal force, and all that. So sometimes they fall over if you move them too quickly. All right, let's put the packaging, which again, nice box. Dr. Wu always has some nice boxes. And let's just take a peek at the instructions to see if there's anything more to Scamper. Now, he is not known as Metroplex because Metroplex is by Hasbro. He is Iron Fortress, but I'm going to call him Metroplex because I want to. Now, it is showing me that he can transform into a battle station, a mobile battle station, a city, and a cube. We are the Borg. And apparently, Six Gun can also turn into some kind of jet. Nice bonus mode. All right, so Scamper, very small. He's got arms on the side that you point forward, and he's got this little round thing, and that's pretty much his transformation. We're going to put Slammer aside. We'll come back to you, Six Gun, because we're going to take a look at your big buddy and go through some posability. So yes, very nice looking version of Metroplex. Obviously no Autobot symbols, but you know, they're not going to infringe upon registered trademarks like that. Just, you know, copyright law. But let's not talk about that. So he is a very solid looking figure, and he's about 4 inches tall. So not huge, but definitely a little taller than most of the Dr. Wu stuff. I don't think he necessarily scales with like Optimus and such, but he's still very cool. Posability. Well, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. Not a big shock because, you know, Metroplex can do all kinds of stuff with his legs. He can kick forward. He can kick back. So he runs into his little backpack thing here. He can do a sidekick. He bends at the knee. And he swivels all the way around. Now, ankle tilts. Not per se. A lot of Dr. Wu don't necessarily have ankle tilts. He does have toe tilts. So, toe peek. So he can do that. He can also spin around twist at the waist. Now, by the way, I'm not going to go through all the same posability on Metrotitan, but we will take a look at Metrotitan. Don't you worry. His arms can go all the way around. They can go a little bit off to the side, not a lot. Bends at the elbow. I'm going to move the gun out of the way because swivel, and I still knock the gun off. Now, looking at the guns, I'm thinking I would want them on this way. Of course, you might send the gun flying off the table. Yerp! But I was able to retrieve it, and now Honor is here to step on instructions and get in the way of the camera, but there we go, back to Metroplex. Now the hands have a joint and they open, so that is kind of cool. So the hands do open. I imagine that is because you can probably take little 6-gun here, take him apart and use some of his parts as weapons for the big guy, or they just wanted to add that little extra bit in. Doesn't appear to be any other movement on the top other than the head spinning all the way around. And that's a nice piece that can turn. I don't know why he would want to shoot like that. Maybe someone's kicking him in the ankle from behind and he can turn that around and blast shit out of him. I don't know. I'm feeling the wheels in the back here, and they're actually wheels, so they move. So that means roll test later. All right, so we got the posability. Let's see if we can actually give him guns, and I think we can. Now, the instructions are not necessarily showing this becoming a gun, but he's got a little post in here, right there, and I imagine that these parts that are on his back detach and attach here. At least that's what I figure. There he is with one gun, but of course, unlike general releases, the original and the San Diego version of the Generations Titan, he had 2 guns. That one came out a little easier. So there he is, fully armed with 2 weapons, and he is now an elf called Legless. The jokes get worse. So a very cool version of Metroplex in miniature. Now, let's take his guns off and put them back on 6-gun so he can have a leg to stand on. And we'll put 6-gun right next to him here. Now, in the cartoon, they only showed 6-gun, I think, once. I think it was called Devil in the Dark or something. Or Trypticon was going around stealing national monuments, and they had dinosaur transform circuits. Or, I'm sorry, dinosaur transform energon traces? Whatever the fuck that is. It's really weird that dinosaur-style transformers would have particular flavors of energon. But we're going to take a quick look at 6-gun and his posability as a robot. And first of all, I will say, not a big surprise, full Jean-Claude Van Damme. He can kick forward, and you can try to kick back and have his leg fall off. Oh, he can kick back. I'm going to fold these down in here for now. He can do a nice side kick, really high side kick if you really want. Now, knees. He actually has knees. I'm impressed. And you just got to be careful because he's like an armorizer. Things will come off. But he swivels, and he actually twists all the way around at the waist. So that is nice. Arms fall off if you're not careful. But if you are careful, I folded it all the way in. But experiencing technical difficulty, please stand by. Okay, it wasn't that difficult. Tip of a knife, got it right out. And now I'm gonna put my thumb there, so when I reattach this arm, it does not go folding back in. All right, so once again, arms go all the way around. Bends at the elbow, has a nice 90-degree elbow. He does not appear to have a swivel. I mean, this guy is very small, like 2.5 inches tall. So, okay, so we don't have a swivel. Head, though, can turn all the way around, so he can look in all kinds of directions. And he's got these 2 guns on his back. Now, I'm looking at his fists, and I am not seeing actual holes. So he cannot hold weapons. But he is a weapon, so it's all good. Spin on the turntable of doom, very nice. Now our other 2, we have Slammer, who is a tank, and if you stand him up like that, he actually has a nitty-bitty face. And you stand up Scamper, and same thing. So not a lot of posability on these guys. Scamper's arms can go all the way around. And he actually has holes in his fists, but I don't know why. I don't know what weapon is gonna get in there. And Slammer actually has arms as well. They don't go all the way around, but they do go forward. So more than I was expecting, pretty cool. In fact, Honor is very excited. All right, now back to Metroplex. So let's put him into his battle station mode because that's the first page of the instructions, says battle station mode. Of the Iron Fortress. Oh, and this piece can actually come off. So apparently that is the first part of this is to remove that. So the instructions show one way of putting it into a battle station mode. And to be honest, the instructions were not helpful in figuring that out. But this is my version of the battle station mode. And I think it's very much like the original with an extra weapon on the front. In fact, to make them even more battle station-y, let's do that and even add these in the front. So that is my version of the battle station mode. We'll point the arms backwards. So, lots of guns. You got this gun here, can fire forward. These two, you've got these, which can move. You have this, which can traverse and blast up in the sky, and you have these two things here. So you have a lot of guns for battle station mode. Again, this is not what it shows in the instructions, but I'm okay with that. It's still Metroplex and probably a better battle station mode than the Generations version. And yeah, I like it. Just there were some things in here that seemed a little odd, but I like this mode better. Now you might notice that his little cover here, little hatch that's normally a ramp back there, which I don't think there's a ramp back there, though we'll find that out in a bit, is facing the back, which I think actually makes sense because, you know, he's going towards the battle. He could potentially deploy the ramp so that troops can go inside him and help man his guns, maintain him, all that kind of stuff. So he does have wheels. He's got these two wheels right here. He's got these two wheels right here. And he rolls like shit. Not surprised. Quite honestly, the fact that he has working wheels is like amazing to begin with at this size. And I'm not really expecting a lot. So, battle station mode. But before we go into city mode, I do want to take a look at this alternate form for 6-gun, which is actually pretty clever so far. I was like, wait, what? And then, yeah, this is his spacecraft mode, or shuttle mode, or I'm trying to rip off a GoBot mode. Now, the instructions show flipping these away. I didn't want to do that because it looks like guns on the front. He's got guns on the arms. Pretty cool. I mean, you can see his face on the bottom, but for an alternate mode for 6-gun, I'd say that's pretty damn cool. All right, time to do the city. And there is the city mode. So you have some ramps over here. Now, this does not open up. I was hoping it did, but it does not. But again, it's a very small version of Metroplex. Now, we could probably add pieces of him to it. We could have Slammer and Scamper on him, but still a cool representation of Metroplex as a city. In fact, I think I actually like this a little bit better than the Titan Metroplex, which took me a long time to get. I have a whole video on that. But if they had set up the legs so they could do this, it would actually be better for the Generations one. But, oh, Scamper rolls for shit. And Slammer just slides. But still a very cool Autobot City in miniature. Now we just got to put him up against Trypticon in a battle to the death. Now this is not the Metroplex you want to set up your Dr. Wu figures around to have it in scale. Then you want to use something like the Generations, but a very cool version of the Autobot City. And if it's not transformed entirely correct, that's on me, because I probably screwed up, because looking at the directions, I kind of got the gist of them. I didn't follow them quite exactly. And I will say the one pain in the ass part was getting the helipad out, which it was cool that it has one, but getting it by his chin, it's a little bit of a snap. So there you have him, Metroplex and his crew. But of course, now we got to take a look at Metrotitan. Now, those not familiar with Metrotitan, which if you've been watching this channel for a while, you may have noticed that I have reviewed Metrotitan, well, the KO. But Metrotitan apparently was supposed to be built as a brand new Autobot City, and then the Decepticons hijacked him, took him away, made him into an evildoer. And the packaging looks pretty much the same, only, you know, the nice Metrotitan colors. So there he is with Metro Dash, Metro Tank, and honestly, I forgot this one's name, but he's got black guns on the back. This one is Metro Shot. Now, the nice thing about these guys is their joints are stiff. The less good thing is that it can be kind of a pain to stick them on because they're movable posts and you're trying to slide something out. That sounded a little wrong. Shut up, Logan. Now, this guy does not have a different name. He's just Iron Fortress, but he is, instead of the E54, he is the E54S. So he's special. But same mold, same guys, same faces. And if you don't want to face off Metroplex against Trypticon, who I did review before, you can always face him off against Metrotitan, who again I put into my own kind of modified version of the mobile battle station mode. I even changed something up a little bit. Maybe you can spot it. It has to do with that gun there. Now, one thing I find handy when transforming this is a knife, because there are some ramps and such that are very difficult to get out without using something that can like get in there and open it up. It's even handy for the helipad. So there we go. Metrotitan in his city mode. Wait, my bad. I had the legs upside down. I mean, the only thing I don't like aesthetically about this form is showing his crotch like that. But you can spread it out if you want it to, that didn't sound right either. You can spread these projections if you want it to be a little bit more like the G1, or at least how a lot of people put the G1. You have your cars. You got Mega Shot, who could, you know, parts form and put weapons all over the place, but he's not going to do that right now because I kind of showed you with the other guy. So two very cool versions of G1 characters in miniature from Dr. Wu. If you've been watching this channel a while, I love Dr. Wu stuff. The small Transformers with such detail and posability. Digging this Dr. Wu set, I've always been a big fan, and when they announced this set, I was very excited. I was like, I need to get this. Oh, but there is one thing that I didn't show. The cube. Sorry, I was getting ready to wrap it up because honestly, the cube is not my thing. Someone complained because apparently Trypticon changes into a cube and I didn't show that, and that was my bad. But again, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of the cube form. And apparently, in order to put the cube form together, you have to take 6-gun and attach. Tell you what, if you like the cube form, you do the cube form. I'll never use the cube form. I mean, for those who like cube forms, fine. If you want Metroplex to be a fucking Borg cube, by all means. I will never use that form, so there. The line must be drawn, yeah. Cube, get off of my ship. So, despite the fact that they have a form that I don't really want to use, the cube form, I still think they're awesome. Battle station modes, city modes, and robot modes with all their guys. Super clever. Thank you again, Dr. Wu. Very cool. And highly recommended. And while you're mulling over these guys here, you can actually take a look at this video over here, which is my review of the Trypticon from Dr. Wu. No cube form. And if you're enjoying this content, by all means, feel free to subscribe. Again, thanks to Tommy Park and Jerry Store for providing these. We'll see you next time. So always have fun and good hunting.